let me thank all of you for coming out on this rainy morning. It's great to see so many of you. Mrs. Margaret Richardson, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Science, Technology and Tertiary Education. His Excellency, the Honorable Burchell Whiteman, OJ and Chairman, Board of Governors, the Commonwealth of Learning. Sir John Daniel, President and CEO of the Commonwealth of Learning. Mr. Paul West, Director, Knowledge Management and Information Technology, Commonwealth of Learning. Mrs. Karen Roseman, Director, Distance Learning Secretariat, Ministry of Science, Technology and Tertiary Education, and the COL focal point for Trinidad and Tobago. Mrs. Jennifer Sampson, Senior Advisor to the President, University of Trinidad and Tobago. Heads of tertiary level institutions, and I recognize many of you here. Principals, our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Planning and Development, Dr. Botiwari, Campus Registrar, Mr. Jeremy Callan, Campus Bursar, Mrs. Carla Dubé, other members of senior management, deans, directors, and members of staff of the UWI St. Augustine campus, members of staff from the open campus of the UWI, distinguished guests, members of the media. It truly gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome you to the Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies, and for our visitors from abroad and those who may be visiting for the very first time, I also welcome you to our Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. This morning I wear two hats, firstly as principal of our lovely St. Augustine campus, and for those of you who are coming here for the first time, this is one of the 4 campuses of the UWI, which just celebrated its 60th anniversary. Our campus is one with over 17,000 students, 3,000 staff members, 5 faculties. And next year, our campus will be celebrating its golden 50th anniversary. This is a much anticipated milestone, and we are looking forward to the commemoration of this event on our campus. The other hat I wear this morning is that of a committed board member for the Commonwealth of Learning, which is an organization dedicated to innovative approaches to quality education, to developing learning systems and knowledge networks in support of countries' developments. The hosting of the Commonwealth meeting in Trinidad and Tobago in the next few days has provided us with the opportunity to engage in a discussion on practical proposals for fostering teaching and learning in the service of development, particularly in a very challenging global environment. The seamless progression from open school to open university could very well be a viable approach for overcoming challenges with access, infrastructure, facilities, etc., faced by many countries, challenges that are also faced by our own university. Given the global economic slowdown over the past year or so, today's forum is even more timely, since governments in all regions of the world are exploring ways and means of achieving the Millennium Development Goals with less available resources. Today's dialogue among key COL stakeholders could help develop an appropriate response while also addressing people's need to adjust to change and to enhance knowledge and skills by expanding opportunities for education, training, and learning. Without a doubt, there's a significant demand for greater diversification in learning practices. This is particularly evident in places where the supply of school infrastructure, teachers, and teacher trainers has not kept pace with the growing demand for post-primary school education. It is in this light that today's forum on the topic from open school to open university is quite relevant. By actively promoting the use of open and distance learning for development in areas outside of formal education, we can help countries achieve the transition from bricks to clicks, whereby prior physical and capacity constraints are eroded by the availability of educational programs and information at the click of a button. In this regard, the Commonwealth of Learning can boast of several success stories in countries around the globe, India, Jamaica, Sub-Saharan Africa, the Solomon Islands, and Malawi, just to name a few. Not to mention the many benefits derived from the open and distance learning, such as flexible learning, increased access to basic and secondary schooling, and cost-effective solutions for large-scale delivery by using advanced technologies. An innovative example of this is the creation of the Wiki Educator, which develops free educational content for planning education projects. Open and distance learning also assists in training millions of new teachers and promotes the sharing of programs across institutions. And I think this is one of the things you will hear about the COL, that it does best. Through the virtual university of small states of the Caribbean, for example, hundreds of teachers have acquired advanced information and communication technology skills. The benefits of open and distance learning are by no means restricted to the education system, but are also extended to encompass livelihoods and health, the second program sector as indicated by COL's most recent strategic plan. For instance, lifelong learning for farmers is a successful grassroots model for increasing rural prosperity that uses ICT to link banks and universities to village communities and to exploit new economic activities. And I'm really hopeful that in this new strategic plan period, COL will make an impact in this second activity of linking to our rural communities. And I pledge the support of the UWI in this effort. Open and distance learning, however, does have its challenges and institutional difficulties because it involves totally different new skill sets, lengthy materials development, new managerial, administrative, and support infrastructure. As a leading regional university, the UWI has dedicated one of its campuses, the Open Campus, to specialize in the development and delivery of distance programs with a particular focus on reaching the underserved communities of non-campus countries in the Caribbean. As we look ahead, global trends dictate that our educational institutions at all levels must explore keeping current with and incorporating new ICT tools so as to help achieve our educational goals as well as the overall development of our peoples and our countries. In closing, let me express my gratitude to all of you for coming. As I said earlier, it's the kind of morning that provides challenges, but I'm pleased to see all of you here, and especially after many of you were at that extremely stimulating lecture last night by Professor Stiglitz, one of the best that I think we had. So it's great that you would have come back out to the campus this morning. I'm truly looking forward to an enjoyable, informative, and productive forum, a forum where we can expose COL and COL's work, and COL can get feedback from you on how it may approach its work and how it may even do it better. We should all seek to ensure that there's follow-up to the discussions so that ideas and recommendations can be translated into action, and in so doing, we each play our part in influencing the policy and practices that shape teaching and learning in our countries and our regions. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe that through close collaboration with all our stakeholders, and you are our key stakeholders, we can build increased synergy in our work and maximize impact of what we do. I sincerely thank you for coming, and I thank you for your attention.